Ladies and gentlemen, Diablo Immortal is almost here, and in this video, I'm going to break down all the reasons I have decided I'm going to be settling on playing the Necromancer in Diablo Immortal. Now, there's a few reasons, but I'm going to try to break down the technical reasons and what he's going to be good at in the game, as well as why he's going to be enjoyable to play, and how I think his role is going to consist in my party, and if you play him in your party of friends as well. So without further ado, if that sounds interesting, consider liking the video, subscribing for daily Diablo Immortal content, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, first and foremost, he looks like me. Okay, maybe I'm only half joking here. It is actually important, though, that you pick a class that is somewhat interesting, that you feel connected to. What do I mean by, well, connected to? You need to play something that for some reason is appealing and calling to you in particular. Necromancer, I saw the ginger hair and all that, and I thought that's enough for me to at least be interested in it. But then as I started looking into some more of the technical details of the Necromancer, it really made me more and more interested in it. So what are these technical details I'm talking about? Well, I went and talked to Echo Hack, who I would recommend go ahead and subscribe to him. There, I'll have a link down below. You can find his channel as well. But what he mentioned to me was something that really struck out for me, which is that the Necromancer is a class that is a supportive class that is amazing to have in your party with other players because of a certain buff that allows you to remove 5 total hits and make those 5 total hits do effectively 0 damage. So imagine you're in a boss fight, okay? And during that boss fight, you know, for the lack of a better word, up a few of the mechanics, okay? Well, that bone shield is going to stop that damage and that mistake from actually happening. I think this is going to help me a lot with the learning curve too. As we start the game from the beginning, it will be easier to advance through the pace at a more regular pace. On top of it, Necromancer, they do have in this game a pretty good AI for the controlling of your minions, from what I understand. They're not just stupid and running all over the place, and it's easy to actually summon them. You don't have to constantly be re-spamming all the time. It does all of it automatically always, so you don't have to worry about getting that army behind you. It's going to do it for you. Now, the Necromancer does in fact use corpses, much like other parts of Diablo. So if you're familiar with Diablo, and for instance, like the, grabbing corpses and making them explode, putrid explosions, stuff like that, they do have those type of builds in this game as well. But they have all kinds of things you can do instead of just doing like bone lancing and grabbing things and throwing at people. You can play in a variety of ways in that support role. And in particular in PvP, Necromancer is going to be important because of his ability not only to mitigate the damage like we mentioned, but to stun and support the team by stunning the enemy so that your team can hop in and do all the damage. Now, I might not be doing the absolute maximum damage as a Necromancer for sure, okay? Maybe I'm not going to be in the top 3 DPS, but I'm going to be a reason that others were able to keep in their top 3 DPS. And I think that's crucial, especially if you're going to be playing with friends. It is going to be a class where you can play solo, because once again, you're going to have minions to help tank for you, and you do have that shield, etc. And I'm not too worried about the fact of it getting boring because of the variety of the gameplay style. We can either do the more, poison blood type of stuff with the Necromancer, or we can focus more on our minions, and our minions ourselves are probably going to be what I personally want to be focusing on. But the gameplay style isn't going to be too repetitive. I'm not going to have to sit there and worry about just spamming one key to throw Lance over and over and over again. And now that I know that about the Necromancer, and from talking to other Necromancers and people who have played the beta, etc., that is what I'm the most excited for. Now, if you were wondering what the Necromancer might be closest related to in its competition, interestingly enough, from what I hear, the Necromancer and the Crusader are actually 2 competing types of classes. So what you would want to do is make sure that in a party, if you're going to be playing with your friend, and I'm only saying this from like if you're looking to min-max for the long run, maybe you don't pick a Crusader and he picks a Necromancer, because they're both sort of about buffing and supporting the other people on your team and CCing, for instance, in PvP. And I think that you might get 2 of the same thing. It might pair with a little bit better with someone like a Demon Hunter, who's going to have really good single target damage, boss elimination damage, so you have your minions kind of going out there tanking, dealing some damage, and you can stun. Then your Demon Hunter is going to be doing all your damage. The Necromancer, for me, that's going to be my class. I'm the most excited to play the Necromancer personally, so if you're interested to see a Necromancer gameplay, feel free to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be doing lots of Necromancer builds. There's going to be live stream, and everything related to it will be right here on the DM channel. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please let me know what you're going to play and why. What were the reasons you came across? And I'll see you tomorrow for the next Diablo Immortal video.